From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher. Their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicky Fisher. Our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Skripchuk. And our Batman, the master of tools, gadgets, and all things mechanical, our mild-mannered soon-to-be billionaire, Alan Danvers. Their mission, to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them, and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Welcome to the Garage Heroes in Training podcast. I'm going to be the host for this episode. My name is Bill. Who else is hosting?
I'm Vicky.
You are. Guess what?
Hi.
The Judge Series is back.
It is. We're going to visit our judges.
It's at popular request.
It is.
Some of the requests are please don't, and some of the requests are please do. but that's okay. So, former Lemons driver, former member of Faster Farms Chicken Farm Car has already been on the podcast and is overdue to come back, honestly. And one of the best names in the history of Lemons, the bunny with a pancake on its head car, because it's just a mental picture that I can't get rid of. But anyway, now, you know, surprisingly, since he's on the Lemon Judge series, he is now a Lemons judge. So I know nobody pieced that together before I told him, but I just thought, you know, I'd share the wisdom. We have Judge Shawn Rogers. Welcome to the podcast, Shawn.
Thank you very much for having me. It is a pleasure to be here.
Well, we'll see if you say that at the end. We always hear it at the beginning, sometimes not at the end. But
yeah, I do remember.
So far.
I do remember running across you at Lucky Dog, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we saw you. Yeah,
we
saw
Laguna.
At Laguna or Portland?
No, it was at Laguna. I remember the car. I do remember the car.
Okay, I wasn't with the Faster Farms guys then.
Okay.
But I did do a Lucky Dog race at Laguna with the Model T GT. If you remember that car.
I do remember that car.
Yeah. We kind of had a
story there.
Yeah, we had a trip out there, and I do remember seeing that funky car. That was funky car. It was a good car.
That car is so enjoyable to drive. Seriously, if you ever get a chance to get a seat in that car, do it. Yeah. It is a ball. It is quicker than it looks. It is stupidly neutral handling. You drive the car primarily on your right foot. You know, you get into a corner and you don't really move the wheel. You just kind of throttle through it. And yeah, it is. I cannot say enough about Adrian and Jim and those guys and how wonderful that car is.
They were just the nicest people. That's what I most remember about is they were just so welcoming, so kind, right? So nice. And I was like, you're just like my friend now from on the West Coast. Like I just made a friend.
Yeah,
you just wanted to play with the chickens.
It was good. It was good.
Okay, very well. So let's pretend we're talking about Shawn today, shall we?
Okay.
Sure.
So Shawn, what got you into this craziness? And that could be driving and judging. They're both separate spectrum craziness. So,
well, so my first Lemons race was the last Altamont race, which I believe was 2008 or 9. I think 2009. And a much hated automotive journalist who I was an internet buddy with said that he was coming out to run in this race. And I said, oh, cool. I want to meet you. Can you like put me on the hospitality list or something? And he's like, yeah, no problem. I am an automotive journalist. So I show up to the track and it's Nick Pond at the gate, which I didn't know Nick at the time. I'm just like, it is some dude. And he had me sign a thing. And this guy hadn't told me who the team was or what was happening with the team. And so I get there and I go and I eventually find the black metal Volvo is the team that I'm supposed to hang out with this weekend. And this team consists of Dave Shibley, who was the mastermind behind the Model T GT, Johnny Lieberman, Phil Greedon, John Pagel, Wayne, who you may not know, he was in and out of the series, Jesse Cortez with the 808 mini truck, and this guy who I'm not going to name because I don't want to get the hate. Anyway, we show up, I show up, and all these people are just like super awesome, and we're pitted next to the MR2 guys. We can't remember the name of the team. Anyway, guys that are still in the series, and I'm wandering around here like this is the greatest thing I've ever done with my clothes on. And I got to talking to Phil, and he says, "Well, you know." He told me that after the race I should introduce myself to Adrian because they were building a car. And after the race I ran into Adrian, and he said, "Yeah, let's do it." And I joined the team, and we built the car, and I was absolutely hooked. And it was just, I am absolutely sold on the entire thing since. I have since drunk the Kool-Aid.
Really? Like, oh my gosh. It's so easy to get sucked in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So as a team member and driver, that was a great thing, and I enjoyed it. But I did want to own my own car, and I wanted to go faster than these guys wanted to go, which, whatever. Everybody does their thing in Lemons. And I got a line on a free 82 Rabbit 4-door, and went to a buddy of mine, runs a VW shop in Berkeley, California, and said, "Let's go race this thing." And he looked at me like I was stupid, and then shortly thereafter said, "Okay, yeah, let's do this." And we built what became the bunny with a pancake on its head. And we raced that for 7 seasons. Yeah. Fairly consistent top 10 car, one DNF out of however many seasons that was, 6 or 7 seasons. Never a bride, always a bridesmaid. But we did, like I said, we hung in that top 10 pretty regularly. It was a very good car. And then a rental driver drove it into the wall at Sears Point, rode it off, and dusted his hands and walked away.
How bad was the damage? Was it totaled?
All done.
Oh
yeah.
He offered to pay for it, right?
No, not so much.
Well, in an effort to help pay for your trashed race car, would you like a Phil story?
Oh, I love Phil stories.
So it's by far with Phil the best Phil story is TBD at this point, but it's a good one. So we finally get Phil on the podcast. I think it was a couple of years back, and we're on the podcast, and we're like 45 minutes in, and we're calling him Judge Phil the entire time, right? And during the podcast, like 45 minutes, 50 minutes in, he realizes that we're talking to him not about his authorship with car magazines, but we're talking to him about Lemons. He's like, "Oh, wait, you guys are Lemons people." I'm like, yeah. So the interview went a totally different, it's kind of like the old line. It's skewed off, and had a whole different. It was like 2 podcasts in one. It was
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, he is a genuinely fantastic human being. I really like hanging out with him.
So you ended up jumping into how did you end up with the judging?
I was asked at one point to help with the judging, and they liked what I did, and they asked me to help some more. And it was while I was still running my own team. So there were a few races where I judged and crew chiefed, which was entertaining. But and then I was kind of out of the series for a few years, and then the last couple of years I've been back in, and I did 5 races last year, and I'll do 5 this year.
Wow. So you used to race and used to drive, and then you find, we were talking before the podcast, so no one knows all the dirty little secrets, but we'll get some of them. It seemed like you actually got to the point where you were preferring your crew chief / pit manager role at that point.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people look at me weird when I say it's actually quite fun when they're, like, why aren't you driving? I'm like, well, I'm crew chiefing this weekend, and they look at me like I have 3 heads, because it's like, but you're not driving. I'm like, I drive a lot. It's okay. But what about you?
To be honest, when I stopped driving, I started having more fun in Lemons. I was an okay driver. I was, not far off our fast guy. But it wasn't, I would much rather do a track day where I can just go out there and hurl the thing around and not worry about stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm going to be on the track, that's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Being the crew chief and team owner and, chief cook and bottle washer, that, like you said, that's just so much more fun. There's no stress. You get everything done before the race.
Sometimes
you show up, you unload the trailer, you put the carts out, and you're ready to rock. That was so much more fun for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but being around not being around the Lemons crowd just wasn't an option. Even after the car got written off, I would still fly down to Northern California for races. I would go to the ones here at the Ridge in Washington. Couldn't keep away from it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're pretty much you fly to other regions other than just serving your own, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I go down to Thunderhill. I'll do Buttonwillow this year. Those are Northern, Southern California, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 races here in Washington. That's an hour and a half, hour 45 drive for me, so that's easy. And then this year I did the Carolina Spring race.
Mm-hmm.
With the parade?
Well, no
parade.
There was no parade this year. So what happened was there was a Confederate or not
Civil War?
Revolutionary War graveyard found outside of the little town of Camden, where the parade usually is. And there was this big long process, and they ended up deciding to reinter them exactly where they were. And the reinterment process was scheduled for the day of the race. And it was this huge parade through downtown with the caskets on horse-drawn carriages, and 20,000 people showed up and all this stuff. And we were supposed to have a Lemons thing.
Face it.
The whole reason I wanted to go to that race.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I could see that. That would be fascinating.
Yeah.
You know what the real reason was?
What was that?
When Jay and Nick found out, they knew that the Lemons cars would lose the race down Main Street, and they didn't want the embarrassment.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So is judging? Are you integrated into the judging, or do you have another activity or job on the side?
Oh, I sell dinosaur bones for a living.
Get the hell out of here!
Well, we got the Fast and Furious storytime question taken care of there.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you see this logo on my shirt?
Yeah.
Do you know what that little guy is?
I do know what that is. Very much so. I forget what it's called, but so
it's a trilobite.
trilobite. So you do
Yep.
the mineral. Do you attend the mineral and archaeological seminars that they have, or clubs that they have that kind of go around?
We do some club stuff. We are primarily a retailer. So
Okay.
the majority of what we do is we work directly with folks who pull these mineral and fossil specimens out of the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and we turn them around and get them to market. We
Yeah.
are the big guys in our space. We're coming up on our 10th year in a couple of months.
That is fascinating.
It's a ton of fun. We really, really enjoy ourselves. We're a small crew of we're all freaks and geeks and weirdos and assorted nuts and whatnot, and it all works.
I love that. I really
Yeah.
do. That's
See,
pretty cool.
see, Vicky's all like
Can I
excited about it and trying to figure out why you would do that. I'm sitting there going, well, what can I get? But anyway,
Yeah, right. No,
can I plug my
I actually
website?
had
absolutely.
absolutely.
We plug
We
everything.
will be
Fossil
struggling. Go ahead.
Fossil Era, FOSSIL era.com. Fossil
I,
Era.
I love that.
That's
I
awesome.
do. That is just
Gotta
such
check it
geeky
out.
coolness.
It is so much fun.
It's like every time you open a box or a rock, it's like a new Christmas present.
Right? Yeah, we just got a pallet of stuff from France the other day, fossils. There were, well, I don't know, 500-600 pieces in the pallet, and anywhere from a fossil bee that's about 5 or 6 millimeters long, up to pretty good size palm fossil.
Mm-hmm.
And so many specimens in there that we had to go through each one and classify them and identify them and do all this work. And it is, you don't stop smiling the whole time.
That's just fascinating.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So why judge?
Oh man, I love yelling at people. And it's not cool to yell at your kids.
They don't hear me.
That's
No,
the best answer.
I'm good at that. I'll bet that some folks will agree with me, because I just, I started, like I said, they just kind of asked me to help out, and it seemed like, okay, that's kind of a weird thing, but I'll try it.
Uh-huh.
Yelling at people and belittling them and making them feel bad about themselves.
And giving them awful things to
Wait a
do.
minute. Wait a minute. This is actually going to be fun. Yeah, I mean, it is, I've done a lot of different jobs in my life, and I've done some performance work in the past, and radio and voiceover work. And the judging is just a natural extension of some of that performance art.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be on all weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I'm me when I'm there. I'm just turned up.
Right.
I'm not normally a voice raised kind of guy. I'm normally real, kind of even keel.
Mm-hmm.
But at the racetrack, when you need to be heard over race motors and there's cars out on the track and there's all kinds of crap going on, I can project if needed.
But Shawn, you have to admit, belittling people who are at a lemons race is kind of like shooting fish in a barrel, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. I mean, there is we were talking about a lowered bar, a lowered set of expectations earlier.
Yeah.
You have to set that expectation very low.
I think so.
But no, I get to meet tons and tons of cool people. I have made some very good friends, just people that I met while I was judging, and end up hanging out at their pit space Friday night, and Saturday night they're the life of the party, and you hang out with them again, and all of a sudden it's like, I want to see you at the next race. I want to hang out with you sometime. Yeah, which you can say that about lemons in general, but there is an initial transactional nature to the introduction of a new judge to a team that they've not met before. There's this understanding of you will respect my authority, and I think that is lessening, and I think that's a good thing. I think in the past there's been some judges that bigger heads about it than they needed to have.
Right.
And I think Lemons has reined that in.
There's a lot.
But so there's, once you get through that initial introduction and what seems like a transactionary period, you start to get to know the people, and oh cool, you're a rabbit guy too, right on, what do you have, and we'll start talking rabbits, and then all of a sudden we're trading barbecue recipes, or whatever. I see what you did there. That's nice.
A little whoosh, we got to swoop it around every now and then,
All right.
So how many years have you been doing this again for the judging?
Judging, I think I probably started in about 2005 or so, 2004.
Wow. All right.
And I probably judged. Oh boy, you know what? Eric Rude's going to fact check me on this, so I don't know how to answer it.
He has the data.
Up. He does. I'm going to conservatively say 25.
25. All right, Eric, double check.
Yeah.
So I have questions beyond.
It's a good thing we have a podcast.
Right. I have questions beyond just the judging part, which is the operations behind the scene of us racing. What are some of the things that take place? Because it seems like such a very, very smooth operation, but I know they're hustling back there.
Ooh, look at that. Oh, Kim Harmon, I hope you are listening right now. Did you hear that? But do you know Kim Harmon's job title?
No.
Shit show prevention manager.
Okay.
That is her official Lemons job title.
Okay.
And she does a fantastic job with it. And then, of course, Eric Rude with the Everything Bagel. Job title, which I think is probably the best job title anyone has ever had in the history of everything. But yeah, I mean, there is a lot of work that happens pre-race. There's logistics to be handled. So there are several sets of big plastic tubs that travel from race to race with different stuff in them. Some will be the judges' stuff and admin stuff, and I can't even think of what's in some of the other transponders and stuff like that.
So all the documentation for the cars.
Actually, that is hand carried. Kim will typically hand carry that. But so there's a lot of logistics that happens behind the scenes, moving material around, moving personnel around, coordinating a hotel for 7 to 20 people, rental cars, flights. I mean, it's a business.
Right.
It's a business that travels. So they have, the logistics, the way they make it work is just, I cannot believe that it has come as far as it has in a reasonably short time.
And then we have the communications that happen, which I guess everything is radioed from tower to flag stations to operations in that sense to keep the race actually rolling. Which
we do a thing called tippy tap.
Okay.
So we're sitting there in the penalty box. There is a person assigned to this tippy tap function all weekend, and
Mhm.
their job is to sit in front of a laptop and take notes from the instant messaging program that they use, um, and relay them to the judges. Meanwhile, logging them on these sheets that are on the table that show us how many times each team is screwed up.
Mhm.
Um, and that person's function, Kim does that at a lot of races. She's very, very good at it. She's very efficient. Um, so there's a lot even happening just in the penalty box during the race.
Right.
Indeed. There's tons of stuff. Only got 150 cars, so
right. So yeah, it goes corner station, calls it in, tower relays it to us, or no, let me yes. Corner worker calls it in, Pagel hears that, or race director or whoever it is, tippy taps it to tippy tap in the penalty box. They relay it to the judge. When the car shows up for its penalty, they'll hold up a little sign that says 4 off or spin or pass under yellow, or we used to have one with a picture of an erect phallus on it, but I think that's
at a lemon
what
race?
in Lemon's race?
Shocking.
My virgin years.
That one may actually have been worn out. It may not have just disappeared.
At a lemons race?
Again,
I don't want to see a lot of people's Amazon suggested. Anyway.
But yeah, so there, like I said, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of people involved. There's a lot of moving parts. It takes lots of bodies. It takes lots of dollars to make this thing happen.
It does, for sure. So you having a long-standing history of lemons in both driving and judging, I am excited to ask you this question.
Oh, God.
What is it's a 3-parter here. So what are your favorite penalties that you've seen given and want to give someday?
Okay. It's a classic, but I'm a big fan of the saran wrap, saran wrap the driver to the roof. I never get tired of that for some reason. Although the track owner at Button Willow did one day.
Was he off the overhead speaker system?
Well, no, he came screaming up on a side-by-side. What the hell is going on? Why is that? And I told him, and you can't do that here. Okay.
Just
no
did,
problem.
But thanks.
No, we'll stop doing that. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the saran wrap the driver to the roof. There was one penalty that someone came up with at the last Ridge race, which happened to fall. The Saturday happened to fall on April 1st. And one of our guys said, we had somebody coming in for their fourth offense. And one of the guys said, well, it's April Fool's Day. Tell them you're going to claim the car.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
And that is one of the best lemons penalties I've ever been involved with. We had Jay Lamb on the phone. And he was yelling at the team, telling them how bad they suck and that he was going to buy their car and stuff.
For $1.
And no, 500. 500. Yeah.
Just so they wouldn't go back on the track, right?
Yeah. And so we ended, the punchline, of course, was, hey, you know what? It's April 1st. And the team enjoyed it, and that was a phenomenal penalty.
You suck.
Yeah, we got Jay Lamb on the phone. It was fantastic, or maybe it was Sunday even, because it was even more surprising that we got Jay on the phone.
Oh, that's classic.
That'd be great. I'm buying your car and you can't drive it because I don't trust you people with my car.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
That's tremendous.
So
okay.
that was good. Jason Torchinsky. Are you familiar with him?
I know the
Lemons
name.
Judge.
I don't think we've met him yet.
Oh, you should. Automotive journalist.
Oh, I know Jason. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
I wasn't placing the last name.
Yeah, no problem. I judged with him at the Carolina race this spring, and he brought a 1930s manual typewriter and made teams write apology notes on this typewriter. It was fantastic.
That is good.
If you ever get a chance to get him on for any reason,
I've been trying. He's just busy with it. I think he just got a new job and everything. So
yeah, he is an absolutely hysterical person. He is one of the funniest people I have ever met.
You should hound him for us.
I'll see what I can do.
No worries. That's fine. Okay, so we did penalties. What about bribes? Favorites given? Any requests? Any tips in general? Any tips in specific?
Well, yeah. My favorite is the team that comes through with something hella cheaty, like, I'm just going to throw somebody under the bus here, an LS in a SC 400 with 315 tires at every corner. No idea. Imagine.
No idea. Okay, good. It's a fictional team. Fictional team.
Yes, exactly. For legal purposes, this is a fictional team. And they come through with this $500 bottle of booze, and they go, "Look at what we brought you." And I look at them and I go, "I don't drink."
That's fantastic.
I quit drinking quit drinking in 1991. And just the look is like, and so for me, booze is not a great bribe. However, I am a man, how you say, of generous proportions.
A luxury mammal.
Oh yeah, me and Douglas Q Fresh. So if you bring us good, well prepared, appropriately temperatured local delicacies, we're probably going to be happy, as long as it's not like cow eyeballs or something. Well, that's a local thing around here. I give a shit. I do not want to have that. Bring me some barbecue. Bring me some whatever. Bring me a good hot dog. Whatever.
They want
but
tasty.
High quality. I want tasty. I want quality food. Nobody bribes in cash anymore, which I think is hilarious.
It's kind of like the liquor, though. It's been done, so
I think at one point we were bribing with potential bribes.
Yes,
potential bribes.
We were giving bribe suggestions, like different.
Oh, nice. Hey, that always works, or for me anyway. I mean,
yeah, I think we brought plastic bowling pins. I think one year,
and a ball.
They had to like. Bowling.
I weighted the ball so it wouldn't roll straight, and you had to go until you got three strikes with it. Good luck with that.
There you go.
Yep.
That's nice. Yeah. We always appreciate any suggestions, because we may not have our shit together, or somebody was supposed to do something and they didn't do it, and the shit show prevention didn't 100% prevent the shit show. But somebody comes in and says, "Hey, I brought a 40-gallon wash tub full of sockets with 7 10mm in it. Have a team find 5."
Yeah, I think one year we dropped off a what was it? It was a device that you put your thumb in it or on it, and a random light would go around, and when the light stopped, you had to press your button really fast. And if you didn't, then you were going to get shocked.
Okay.
I don't think they used it, but I don't think they
They
realized
wouldn't
how.
let go of it. They wouldn't give it to anybody else. The judges are playing with it. That's fine.
You know.
Yeah, we always appreciate good entertainment. You know.
Mm-hmm. Penalty doesn't necessarily mean penalty to everybody. I mean, there's a whole
right.
there's a whole side of the internet that reflects that. But anyway, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Cars that stand out over the years. Any cars of the region? Any cars of the decade? Any cars you've looked at and said, "Wow."
So, with no hesitation and no bias, I have to say the Chicken's car. That thing is an absolute legend. It is, yeah, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. It was holding its own at Lucky Dog.
I'm not sure if it was holding its own or we weren't. One of the two.
Laguna is not its track. Thunderhill is its track.
Mm-hmm.
But gosh, so the Model T GT was amazing. Let's see, I think 3 Pedal Mafia were the first ones to do the boat.
Yes, they were. I believe
that was fantastic. You have to talk about the upside down Camaro.
Sure.
That was a good livery theme.
Yeah. I happened to be standing there when they rolled it out of the trailer for the first time with have you heard it run?
No,
not in person.
So they take a piece of bicycle inner tube about 6-8 inches long and put it over the end of the exhaust pipe and clamp it on, and it goes. It is awesome. It is just the massive fart machine. So yeah, that one is spectacular. I'm trying to think of some of the other. There is a Dodge Intrepid up here in the Northwest that is bone stock, and it just goes out and does laps all weekend. And I love cars like that. I love stuff that's just, it shouldn't do what it's doing, but it's doing it, and it's spectacular doing it. And one you talk about some legends. I think a legend in the making. Did you see the Vute?
No.
I think so.
Japanese coach builder Mitsuoka. You familiar with those guys? They rebody cars in Japan, and one of their cars is based on the 4-door Nissan Micra, a little one liter 4-cylinder, but it is twin cam, and it's called the Vute, VIEWT, and it looks like a Mark II Jaguar in about 3/5 scale.
I think I saw this one, but I didn't recognize the name. They did a video on it a little bit ago, right? Yeah. And
they just won IOE a couple of weeks ago at Thunderhill with the debut of that car. I think that is going to be a legend because oh man, I had plans to do the Alaska Rally, and I could not pull.
No,
I had a spot.
You're right there.
I had a spot in a car.
You're like the closest guy, dude.
Right?
I had a 54 Chevy 210 sedan. Buddy of mine owns, and we were going to do that, and we just could not pull the logistics together. I'm so sad about that.
We have rumors that there may be another one in the not too distant future.
I sure hope so.
Yeah,
I would love to do that.
We would like to propose the Class ABC win with the Lemons Rally cliff diving as the Mount Rushmore of lemons.
There it is. Okay.
No
Yeah, no,
pressure.
that's a glorious end to a race car.
Exactly. You know what would be more impressive is to win Class A, then win Class B, and then win Class C. That would be fun.
No, I'm not going to say it because Eric Rude's going to fact check me again. I thought for sure that there was a car that won A and then B.
It could be. I think it is truly, if you truly want to understand lemons, that is the way to go.
This is the way.
I have a fast car, but no, I don't want a fast car. I want a medium fast car. No, I want a shit box. I can make this fast car into a total piece of junk. Anyway.
Yep.
Very well. Okay, so, you've entertained us quite a bit. And we warmed you up with the softballs, but now it is the no question, no pressure question of the day.
Captain's log supplemental.
Miss Vicky, we've been racing for a while.
Yep.
One of the things you've wanted forever and ever was something simple and easy to get the video, because you've not been happy with everything we've tried.
Nope.
And we've tried a lot.
Well, the issue that we've always had was that we always never got around to video. We kept trying, but things kept happening.
Even when we did, I can't count the number of times I have GoPro video from Jennifer turned into GoPro on to get out of the car and then turning it off to get into the car and start racing. I mean, we've all done it.
That was a problem with the GoPro is because of the positioning, is that we could never really see the on and off button, and the battery was really short.
But I think we found a solution.
I think we did. I did. So we now have the Sentinel system.
Yes.
And oh my gosh,
rumored, finally here.
I know. And honestly, it was incredible. Just like my mind was blown sitting there watching, my sister drive or watch our friends drive in the car. It was really cool.
Mm-hmm. We got to have it displayed at the track in the paddock. We were watching it pretty much. Mm-hmm. I will say that the only downside to the Sentinel system is it cuts down on my steps because I end up staring at the camera.
This is true.
Instead of walking around the paddock, but I guess I'll get my exercise in another way. So just wait until we get it integrated with the AIM system, and then we have all the telemetry. That'll be fantastic.
Right. So right now it shows you can put your logos on it. It determines who's in the car. It has speed and it has video. And yep, obviously you could put more cameras to it. But what I liked about it the most was that all you have to do is put the box in. And I mean, you can leave it in your car, obviously, but it's ready to go.
You know what we had to do with the second race?
What?
Put in a memory stick.
Yeah. The memory stick, yes. And the memory stick.
Start the car.
That's right. And the video was clear, it was crisp, and it was just amazing that we had that length of time on video. Because normally before we would only have these little pin shots of
15, 20 minutes.
Right. Before the battery would die, or
it would turn itself off.
Or we would forget to turn it off. And we would have just nothing happening.
Or or get off on our on and off and have it turn off when we need it on and
but this was a steady video for hours, and it was really cool. I loved it. I really did.
Well, I'm glad you're happy, because as with every married couple, when you're happy, I'm happy. And I don't sleep in the tub for another reason that I didn't even do it, but that's fine. So all right, so now we're going to use it over and over and over. We got another upcoming race. It'll be fantastic. And they're posting it on our YouTube channel if people want to get bored. It's a great way to fall asleep.
You are so self-deprecating.
I'm even better when I'm self-deprecating.
Deprecating.
That too.
What is your favorite Lemons story? And it could be a few stories, but comes to mind. No pressure.
Wow.
You've been here a while, so I'm expecting it to be a multiple choice for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now is trying to bring that back. My goodness.
We can come back if you like.
Yeah, let's pin that.
All right, we'll come back to that one.
Yeah.
Miss Vicky, you want to move to
Yeah,
the next?
the best race to attend in your home region.
The one that I cannot go to for work reasons, Sonoma.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Why is that?
The spring race at Sonoma, I am at a trade show, and the winter race is during our busiest time of year, and I absolutely may not take any time off.
This is once again lessons in podcasting 101. Why is Sonoma the best one to go to?
Seriously, it is. It's a very fast track. It has a reputation of being crashy. But I think on the West Coast, there's I don't even know what it is. It's just being able to run on such a legendary track.
I hear that.
Yeah. I mean, that's
such a bad neighborhood, though. You know what I mean? It's such a bad neighborhood. I mean, there's nothing nearby.
There's nothing but sheep.
Yeah.
Nothing but sheep nearby.
Sheep and wine. And it's not sheep wine.
Oh, good heavens. No.
That was bad. Anyway.
Or whiny sheep.
Yeah, exactly.
But having not been to a number of tracks, I don't know. Coda is a fantastic facility, and it would be an absolute dream for Lemons to go there.
Not Coda's dream, though.
No, not Coda. Well, but seriously, is it any racetrack's dream to have a bunch of crap cans hurling around it for a few days?
Some of them get into it. They think it's fun. I don't know.
And we're back.
And we're back. There you go. So what do you think is the most misunderstood thing about Lemons?
Gosh. So I think a lot of people think that because it's goofy, that we're a bunch of yahoos. And I don't think that could be farther from the truth. Now, that is not to say there are not a lot of yahoos in the series. There certainly are.
That's in any series, though.
Right, exactly. It's not taken seriously is not the word I want to use.
Over seriously.
Yeah, it's
the safety is very serious, though.
The safety is very serious, and I think that's something that people don't understand is that, you know, with an unlimited safety budget, build your cage, build your buy a good seat, get your fire system going. Don't skimp on the stuff that is going to keep you alive when you are upside down and on fire. And I think a lot of people think, you know, we just slap a helmet on and go out in a streetcar. Is that where you were going with that, or were you thinking somewhere from more of an internal perspective?
It's a open-ended question, so we don't really have a goal for it. It could run into the wall anywhere.
Especially at turn 9 at Sears Point.
Exactly.
Yep.
How about the before we return to the no pressure question of the day? How about we look at your thoughts on why people should race Lemons?
Gosh. Well, it is the most fun you can have with your clothes on. It's real racing. I mean, we're real idiots, but it's real racing. If you show up to the track with a piece of crap and it runs poorly and you are going to end up spending the whole weekend under the car and greasy and all that stuff, and that's not your bag, then, you know,
I'd argue that you could purposely bring that to a lemons race, and you could come out of it with a car that runs.
Sure. And there have been people that have done that. We had a Dodge Caliber a couple of weeks ago with a homebrew supercharger sticking out the hood, and they fixed themselves at the track. They got their stuff running and whatnot at the track, and they had planned to do that.
It's expensive garage time, though.
It's expensive garage time, and to be honest, I don't want to put myself in that kind of pressure. That's ridiculous.
No. So speaking of pressure,
Yeah.
the no pressure question of the day: favorite lemon stories or stories?
So, well, to be one of my favorite lemons memories, it kind of plays off of someone else's misery, unfortunately.
That sounds perfect.
At the 10th anniversary party that Lemons held at their headquarters in Emeryville, Phil had pneumonia, bronchitis, something awful in his chest, and wasn't able to be there. And they put him up on a projector onto the wall, and Phil was, 8 feet high.
That sounds about normal.
And that is one of my favorite memories. There was Lemon's memories. There were all kinds of OG folks there. There were new folks there. I saw people that I hadn't seen in a long time. For being away from a racetrack, that was fantastic. At a racetrack, I got to say my favorite race was probably Texas a few years ago, the one that got snowed out. Did you hear about that?
I did.
That was myself, and Eric Rude's going to have to fact check me here, but it was myself, Sajeev, and Doug. I want to say that sounds about right.
So Sajeev's kind of a no-brainer in Texas, right?
Oh God, what an incredible human being! I hope you're listening there, dude.
He's in the series, not just yet, and he's going to be our judge this weekend. Actually, one of our judges.
Nice,
nice,
super cool cat. But that race was calamity aside. That was a pretty good weekend. There was a lot of community time because we weren't racing and we were kind of on standby. There was a lot of real good community time, and I treasured that in Lemons.
That's awesome.
I do love that.
All right, sir, you've made it through the gauntlet. Now's part of the fun. We traditionally, if given time and people will tolerate us for even more, we have a series of fast and furious storytime questions. No capital letters, no copyright infringement intended. So we go through these and we try to learn a little bit about you. And I think we've got enough for Vicky and I to go through 2 or 3 of them each. And then you will have survived the gauntlet. Miss Vicky?
Yeah. I love this question. My favorite question. What was your first car and what was the worst car you have ever had?
Same. 1978 Subaru Brat.
Wow.
That thing was an absolute pile. My 16th birthday, I got a set of keys and a payment book.
And you had to make payments on it too.
I had to buy it from my grandparents. It was awful. I mean, now it got me through a couple of South Dakota winters, and I'll give it that. But I blew up the engine. I beat up the floorboards. Yeah, I mean, it was just terrible.
What year was it again?
78.
78. I'm looking it up right now.
Oh yeah, terrible. Thing.
Did you keep the seats from the back or no?
So the seats were remounted on a new bracket so that I could have them in the front of the bed, or I could turn them around and set them in the back of the bed facing forward.
This sounds like a potential Lemons Judge vehicle in the making.
You
Right.
know, not to
Yeah,
mention
that-
it was in the
Ugh.
70s when cars kind of turned to shit a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And it
Even
looks
Fuji
like
Heavy Industries.
Yeah, they had a lot of issues in the 70s.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
You poor
see.
thing.
We've only got a few questions, like 60, and we're only allowed to choose a couple. So let's go with
Best car.
well, how about this? How about an upgrade? I'm going to upgrade your best car, and I'm going to go with what is the coolest car ever?
Coolest car ever is a Ford GT40 chassis number 1076.
Wow.
Very specific.
The man has his answer prepared.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That is the coolest car in history, period.
And how
I will
come?
die on that hill. Racing success. It was not the dominant car, but it did very, very well. It is typically presented in gorgeous condition. It's just lovely.
It's all things.
It's all things to me.
Okay, very well.
Very nice.
That nailed about 6 of the questions we have with one answer, but that's
That's
fine.
good. All right. Here's one. What is the one thing that no one knows about you that would surprise them?
We did this one
besides
already.
What?
We did this one already.
Earlier on?
He sells freaking fossils.
I know. Well, I thought there might be something besides that. I mean, that's so cool you sell fossils, but
What's something that most people don't know about me?
he sells fossils.
Well, yeah, I mean,
How do you beat that?
Yeah, that's kind of my my crowning achievement at this point.
It's awesome.
No, well, I have a degree in recording engineering.
Okay, there you go.
I went to school to learn how to twiddle knobs and did it successfully.
And again, perfect qualification for a Lemons Judge, twiddling knobs.
Right?
And
But
selling fossils.
That's right. Just don't hit them over the head with a fossil, man. They're not worth it. They're
Hey,
not worth
no.
it.
Not
worth
even
it.
close.
All right. Let's see. Jeremy, Hammond, Matt, May, Chris, other?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of a James May fan. He's done some really great TV outside of the series.
Yes.
We've thoroughly enjoyed watching a lot of his stuff as a family. He is just supremely weird in a dorky way, and it is so endearing.
Yeah, if there was one of those guys who was going to do a Lemons race, you know which one I'm picking.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Although Jeremy would be fun to have in the paddock, making fun of everybody. That would be tremendous.
Yeah, well.
Miss Vicky, your last one. Well, not
Yeah, my last one is going to be what is the family car that sticks out most in your mind?
Of my own family?
Yes, growing up.
when you were
whether
growing
it
up,
be
it doesn't have to be family.
Uncles.
So 1973 Chevy Vega Camback
Wow.
in canary yellow. The license plate was CKC830.
And who had it?
That was my folks' car.
Okay.
We road tripped all over Oregon in that car when it was not in the shop.
Oh, okay. And the brat was not that.
No.
That was grandmom's car.
It's grandma's car.
Yeah. Yeah, before the brat, they had a Series 2 Land Rover. But did I get that? No. I got the brat.
I mean, to be fair, the brat was probably cheaper to maintain, even though it was a nightmare.
I don't care. Man, I was 16. That was such an uncool thing to drive. Oh.
It's all right. All right. Well, one of our guest hosts, her favorite question, Vicky's dear sister. I cannot go through a Fast and Furious Storytime questions without asking, what is your favorite car movie or car from a movie of all time, and TV counts?
dang.
No pressure.
Oh yeah, I mean this is so there. It's so vast. I'm oddly not a car movie guy.
It could be a movie with a car.
Ford versus Ferrari actually was quite good. I thought so anyway.
Mhm.
I rather enjoyed that.
It was.
But no, I'm just I've got a file folder in my head and I'm ruffling through it. Nah, too much pressure. I cannot perform under this much pressure. It
How about
cannot
how
be
about
done.
how about
It
your
is
favorite
impossible.
one today? Next time you come on, it could be a different one.
Yeah. Um,
Top three.
I gotta say the Duke boys. I
Ah,
loved that car.
the General.
The General. Axe the Confederate flag, but that was that was such a snapshot of my childhood watching that every week and just being absolutely fascinated by the car.
Mm-hmm. Cars.
Cars.
Well, sir, you have survived your first attempt through the Fast and Furious Story Time questions. I believe we have about 40 more for you, so we will have to have you on at a future point in time. But
That would be lovely.
we do appreciate your coming on for the Judge Series, and hopefully we will get to see you in person upcoming race. That would be fantastic.
For sure. For sure. Like I said, get yourselves out to the West Coast, drive that Chickens car.
I love it.
Don't have to threaten us with a good time.
Yeah, that's right.
Very well, sir. You have a great night.
Cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, we're being inundated right now with the smog from the northern fires.
Oh,
we're
goodness.
in Scranton right now.
Okay.
It's like the June gloom down in SoCal. So
yeah, I was like, oh, we got some weather coming. This is great. We need the rain so desperately. And now I'm at, you smell the smoke. And that's Pennsylvania,
Yeah, that's icky.
It is icky.
Yeah.
Seattle, huh?
This is
beautiful weather.
Uncharacteristic. It's a little uncharacteristic for us for June. We usually have the June gloom like SoCal does, and that is not currently happening.
No, you guys getting any of you guys usually have gray?
Yep. Yeah, most of June is usually kind of gray and warm, but gray. And
right.
I don't think we've seen a cloud in 4 or 5 days.
We haven't had any rain in like 2 weeks. If anything, it was just a sprinkle. It's terrible. My lawn is dying.
Right.
And we're in the mountains, we're supposed to be in the cool mountains, everything is green and lush most of the time, but not right now.
Bleh.
I know.
No fun at all.
Nope.
So you guys have been busy.
Yeah.
We try to be busy. Makes things so much more fun.
Yeah, we're trying to get our car ready for a race. And we just found out that our caliper on the back end is bad. So we have a race this weekend.
No problem.
Oh. And then Bill hit on a part.
Go right.
Well, yeah, on a parts run. I think it was yesterday, the day before. Bill hit a deer on the highway in our Mini Cooper. So that's now in the body shop. It's out.
Oh, that's no good.
I know.
You know what the best part is?
No airbags deployed.
No airbags deployed. No.
That's good.
Best part?
What?
Part was the wrong part.
It was the wrong part. And it was a road trip to get the part.
There you go.
Love that.
There is a law about that somewhere that says the longer the trip, the more inaccurate the part's going to be.
Yeah, I haven't determined yet if it's the wrong part that I ordered or if it's the wrong part that I didn't order. So
Yeah.
doesn't matter right
Again,
now.
lemony.
Yeah, it's been a lemons week. This is why the team rule of the car shall be in the car trailer 2 weeks before was implemented, and we have broken it yet again.
Hey, why do it? Why do it when you have time? When you can wait until the last second?
I know. It kills me.
Yeah.
My inner planner's just dying on the vine right now.
Yeah. Well, we thought we had everything covered, and then electronics came back, and it was not good.
Yeah.
So
my
we're trying to
favorite thing
straighten
in
it
the
out.
world to work on.
Or come on by if you want to see some smog and inept mechanic. Don't come on by. We'll be in New Jersey. We'll pick you up at the airport. We got to go by there anyway. So
that's a lovely facility.